Family arguments at dinner, holidays that leave you needing therapy, constant criticism and blame. Sometimes relationships with parents can be more painful than joyful and feel downright unbearable. Can this be fixed? Would it be easier to cut ties completely? Let's explore these questions. If you're enjoying our psych video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. Our relationships with our parents are our first experiences of interacting with people and the world. They teach us not just how to walk and talk, but also how to communicate, handle our emotions, understand others' feelings, assess situations, and respond accordingly. But how do we learn these things? Parents don't give formal lessons on how to love, get attention, or interact with others. Instead, we pick up these complex lessons by observing their behavior. This is why a parent's influence on our personality development is so profound. As young children, we have no other sources of life information, so we constantly watch and analyze the important adults around us, internalizing their actions, worldviews, and treatment of us. These observations shape core aspects of our identity. When parents build relationships with threats and criticism, it can seriously damage a child's self-esteem and their ability to have healthy relationships as an adult. Attachment is a key concept in most studies of parent-child relationships. It refers to the deep emotional bond between a child and their mother or primary caregiver. This connection is crucial because infants rely entirely on caregivers for survival and nurturance. Initially, attachment is one-sided, coming from the mother's side. However, a mutual child attachment quickly develops through stages. According to researcher Gordon Neufeld, from birth, attachment forms through the senses. By age 2, children begin to grasp the concept of similars, and by age 3, emotions of ownership and jealousy emerge. Around age 4, children develop a deep need to feel important and valued by their parents. They start to understand love, want to share secrets and thoughts, and need to feel understood. If these needs are properly met, the child forms a secure attachment style with their parents, leading to a trusting, balanced relationship, one that is unlikely to have major issues in the future. Unfortunately, this ideal scenario is not always the case. Attachment can be disrupted in 3 main ways. The first attachment style is anxious ambivalent, where the person lacks confidence in parental support. This occurs when parents are inconsistent with rules and tend to dismiss their child's problems. As adults, these children struggle with emotions and often end up in codependent relationships. The second style is anxious avoidant, where kids perceive their mother as emotionally insensitive and don't try to bond much. This stems from the mother's emotional detachment, but the need for love doesn't go away. It turns into inner conflict. The third and most damaging style is disorganized attachment, usually rooted in serious psychological trauma. It is characterized by the child wildly vacillating between needing the parent and hating or rejecting them. Alongside the formation of attachment from day one, the process of separation also begins. The child's psychological separation from their parents. This starts at birth when the infant physically separates from the mother. There are stages here too, with the toughest being the teenage years when the family must radically restructure, letting the child go while accepting them back as an independent adult. Many view separation as completely cutting emotional, practical, and communicative ties with family, but it's more about becoming self-sufficient while maintaining some connection. If parents granted age-appropriate autonomy at each separation stage, relationship issues are unlikely to arise in adulthood. However, a couple of decades ago, our parents were often young themselves and probably didn't take any parenting classes. So, in raising us, many took the easier but damaging path. Blackmail, no movie if you don't eat your soup. Threats, one more bad grade means house arrest. Or helicoptering, you can't take the subway alone until you're 18. Messing up any separation stage can wreck adult relationships with parents. Sometimes, parents try to keep controlling their grown child's life, micromanaging even careers and dating. They're convinced that without supervision, a 30-year-old can't pick good friends, housing, or romantic partners. They might be right, but at this point, it's the 30-year-old's responsibility. To prevent independence, parents use manipulative tactics like guilt-tripping, put-downs, accusations, and playing the victim. "I wasted my best years on you. My heart's giving out and I still don't have grandkids. When will you quit messing around with that freelance nonsense and get a real job? If your parents say things like this, they don't see you as a grown-up. But here's the catch. If those comments sting and you find yourself trying to convince your parents otherwise, you're still stuck in the teenage separation phase. You might be financially independent, but subconsciously you still crave their approval and aren't ready to interact as an equal. Many people who realize this end up blaming their parents for a flawed upbringing. But that's just another losing teenage strategy. First, it means you're passing the responsibility for your adult life onto them. Second, parents can't undo past mistakes now, so you'll have to solve this independently and complete the separation process yourself. Becoming psychologically independent from your parents as an adult is tough and requires serious self-awareness. It's much easier if you're already practically independent, living separately and supporting yourself. Start the emotional separation by understanding and accepting that you and your parents are different people. A simple exercise can help. Make a detailed list of how you differ in habits, personality, lifestyle, food preferences, fashion sense, etc. The more distinctions you can articulate, the better. You can then initiate conversations about this separateness, discussing how everyone is unique and you don't have to be exactly as they want, making criticism and lectures pointless. The next step is to stop idealizing your parents while also acknowledging their positive qualities. They aren't deities to be obeyed, nor evil villains. They're just flawed humans like anyone else. Your parents made mistakes like most, probably not maliciously. It's crucial to accept those errors as facts and work on fixing their effects independently. To overcome childhood resentments, remember moments you're grateful for, whether it's timely advice, joyful memories, or practical financial help. Recognizing both faults and positive contributions is key to adult separation instead of teenage tantrums. After that, tackle the main issue with toxic parents: boundary setting. Boundaries could relate to personal space, communication, unsolicited advice, or anything infringing on your autonomy as an adult. Define your boundaries concretely through specific actions and situations, then convey them clearly. Family may resist these new rules at first, but it's vital to stay grounded and mature, not regressing into hurt and accusations. Your goal is to prevent present mistakes and help them realize you'll conduct yourself as an adult going forward and expect to be treated accordingly. Parents usually resist such stark relationship changes using manipulative tactics, often built on inducing guilt and shame. They may claim you're disrespectful or unloving for not deferring to them, like when you refuse to help at their summer home to prioritize your own plans. In those moments, it's hard not to get emotionally hooked, but you must avoid that trap. Calmly explain your perspective, helping them understand that one weekend doesn't negate your relationship. It just allows you to prioritize what matters most to you now. If you consistently enforce your boundaries without caving to manipulations, your parents will eventually accept the new dynamic. Consistency and firmness about your adult rights are key. You might need to temporarily limit family contact early on so they fully adapt to the new rules of engagement. But once boundaries are settled, your bond can regain a healthier balance. Remember, the goal isn't to cut parents off entirely, but to establish an equal, respectful adult relationship that honors each other's personal boundaries. It's a lengthy, challenging process requiring patience, but it allows you to resolve many conflicts and build healthier family communication. Enjoyed the video? Listen to our lectures instead of wasting time on social media.